Welcome back to the channel. UFC 321 this weekend. We're breaking it down, prelims and main card. What I think is going to happen, giving you a little insight, a couple bets I think are safe. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get right to it. All right. Up first, we got Jacqueline Moran versus Mizuki. We will start with Mizuki on the right side here. She is 31. She's 5'3", born in Japan. Sorry. She's 2-1 in the UFC and 4-3 in the IFC. Um, her last fight was in 2023, so 2 years ago, and then before that, three years before that, and then a year before that. So she doesn't fight very often. She beat Hannah Goldie, who is no longer in the UFC, and lost 4 in the UFC. And lost to Amanda Lemos, who's good. Beat Yanan, who went 1-5 in the UFC. So she beat a lot of people that weren't very good. And then we'll go check over on Jacqueline. Jacqueline fights with the American Top Team, so she's getting good looks. She beat Viviana. She beat McKenna. I mean, these people are mid, but she lost to Sam Hughes. Everybody, for some reason, Sam Hughes just does a great job. Going against up and coming new people that everybody thinks is going to be the next top dog. She just has this act. She's like the Neil Magny of the strawweight division. But I don't know. She has really, really good jiu-jitsu, and she's fighting a lot. She's active. You got to go with a more active fighter and someone who is obviously going through the UFC competition pretty well. So I'm going Jacqueline, probably by strangulation of some sort. Up next, we got Mitch Raposo versus Azat Mascom. We'll start with Mitch, big wrestler. Has never won in the UFC or in the Contender Series, so if he doesn't win this, he's out. Let's just say that. Lost to Jake Hadley. Jake Hadley's mid, but lost to Andre Lima. Lost to Chinese dude. And he's really good at wrestling, and that's pretty much all he has. I mean, he's kind of one-dimensional, just a heavy wrestler guy. And then we got Azat on the other side, 1-2 in the UFC. Before he got in the UFC, he was on an 8-0 win streak. Lost to Charles Johnson. Energy, he's pretty good. People didn't think that he was going to lose that, but he got caught. So, and then lost to Erlen Bekov, who's up and coming and next up. He's going to be a very top level guy. I'm going Mascom. It's hard. I just feel like they're giving Mitch Raposo very hard competition in terms of just like they're not giving him easy guys to get on the resume. They're going balls to the walls, and I just think Azat is just better. Up next, we got Chris Fat Boy Barnett versus Humpty Dumpty over here. We got a minus 400 on the right, plus 300 on the left. Start with Chris Barnett. Tore his Achilles in his last fight. So, with that being said, I feel like a big boy with an Achilles tear is just hard to fix. They're saying he miraculously came back after the next one. Obviously tweaked it pretty early and got beat up by Kennedy really quickly. He's never beat anybody good. Jake Collier is not good. This guy has 13 losses, was 7-11 in the UFC. I just think after the injury, how he looked in his last fight, you just can't give it to him. You can't give it to him. You got 5'9" versus 6'2". Does have a reach advantage, but with the injury, and it was 11 months ago, Achilles injury, big boy. I don't know. I'm not seeing it. This guy did lose to Muhammad Usman, and Muhammad Usman is really mid, so I wouldn't bet on this fight, but I would bet pretty heavily that Chris Barnett does not win. But I'm not going to go with like a method of victory or anything. Humpty Dumpty for the win. Then we got Jose Delgado versus Nathaniel Wood. Delgado looks good, man. He looks really good. On a big win streak, all finishes. Finished some good guys in there. Connor Matthews is pretty decent. Absolutely destroyed Hyder Mill in this last fight. I'm pretty sure Hyder Mill was the favorite in this fight. Um, he's got slick boxing, decent jiu-jitsu. On the other hand, we got Nathaniel Wood. Nathaniel Wood's just really good. He's in the Great Britain top team. I like Nathaniel. I think he's really technical. I think he's really good at everything. He has good defensive grappling. He's pretty good on his jab, on his feet, moving forward. I think he gets into a little trouble when he's moving backwards, and I do think that he might run into that situation with Jose. Beat Morgan. He is on a little winning streak here. Had a couple grappling matches. I think he's going to be pretty good when it comes to grappling. But I don't think Jose is going to be trying to grapple him. I think Jose is going to try to knock him out and finish him. And the height difference, there's a big height difference, 5 inches. Big reach difference, 4 inches. I think Nathaniel Wood's really good. And I wouldn't put a pot past him to win this. He is a slight dog. But I'm going to go with the up-and-coming guy. Jose, just bigger, more aggressive, more knockout power in his hands. I'm going Jose. I think Jose gets it done. Probably not by finish, probably by decision. Up next, we got Walter Walker versus Louis Sutherland. Louis Sutherland just got his last bout with Justin Tafa canceled, in which I thought he was going to knock out Justin Tafa. Just dude has big power in his hands. Just does have a couple decisions though outside of the UFC, so it kind of worries me for what kind of technical game he has. But he does have the death touch. So on the other side, we got Walter Walker. This guy's a big submission artist. 6'6" submission artist. Goes to the ground, grabs your heels, gets you out. Really good. Black belt. Heel hooking everybody. Got 3 heel hooks in a row. And these heel hooks are on decent competition. Been in the UFC for longer. 4 fights in the UFC. I like Louis Sutherland by knockout, but I think Walter's gonna submit him. I don't think he has that high of jiu-jitsu to where he's not gonna be able to get away from Walter. If Walter gets him down, gets him in any type of grappling, snatch up, he's not gonna do well there. So I'm going to go Walter with a slight possible chance of Louis Sutherland knockout. And we're rolling. We got Camilo versus Al Sawadi. I think that's how you're saying his name. We're going to start with Camilo. Has not won in the UFC. Lost his only one to Gabe Green. Gabe Green is 3-3 in the UFC. Has some decent wins. Beat Phil Rowe. Lost to Daniel Rodriguez. Lost to Ian Machado Gary. Didn't get finished. Impressive. Did get knocked out by Brian Battle in the first round. Brian Battle is no longer in the UFC. This guy is very athletic. Does have very good, strong hands. And I do see him potentially getting his first win against the Prince of Pride of Palestine over here. Free Palestine. But just still looking for that first win in the UFC. Has 1 win in the LFA. Has 1 win in the Contender Series. Got knocked out in his last fight. Did have some. When I watched this fight, he looked decent on the feet, but I'm just gonna go with Matthias. I think Matthias is more athletic, is faster, quicker, and has more power. I'm going Matthias. Now we got Rambeski versus Klein. I'm going to look at Klein here first. 7-3 in the UFC. Before UFC, really good temperature. Lost to Gamrot. Got Russell Fox. Gamrot's one of the best. Top 7. Beaten Glace, and I don't know how to say this guy's name. I'm not going to mess it up. But this guy's good. He's really good. This guy beat Jalen Turner. Lost to Fazid, but I think that Klein's very good. I think he has good hands, good straights, good stand up. I think that's his situation. He's just long and lengthy and can bomb you from a distance. Look at the reach advantage here. Pretty large, 6.5 inches. I know that's probably going to be a problem for Rumbetsky, who just goes in with strong power and can knock you out in one punch. 4-2 in the UFC. Lost to Chris Duncan, who's a dog. Did go back and forth with Orbital, who's really good. Got knocked out by Diego Ferreira, but Diego's got power. Just not that good technically. He just goes in there for a show every time. Goes in there and really tries to knock the guy out every single time he gets in there. So I am. Robetsky's been fighting so often, and with all that scar tissue that he has, he's been bleeding and busted open in 15 different cuts in his last couple fights. So I think Klein touches him a few times. Scar tissue bust open, blood gets in the eye, gets harder for him. Klein can tee off on him, and I think that's probably what happens. Either Klein by finish, which probably not. Probably by decision. And we got Ikram versus Jung Young Park. We'll go with Park, the Iron Turtle. Really good. He has good stamina, good conditioning. And he has heart. He has a chin. Lost to RoboCop. Beat some, went on a little streak. He's been really decent in UFC. Lost to Andre, and Andre's poopy. This lost. Beat Brad. I don't think the Iron Turtle's bad. I just don't think that he's very technical. And then on the other hand here, we got Ikram. He's good at wrestling. He has power in his hands. Just beat Andre. The other guy lost to Andre. He's fought against Robert Whitaker. This was when Robert Whitaker absolutely pieced him up, but it was a short fight notice. Beat Phil Hawes. I like Ikram here, even though he's a little bit on my warning. I'm not too high on him just because of the. I mean, I know Robert Whitaker is good. Robert Whitaker is Robert Whitaker, but the chin and the way he got touched, it didn't look like. It looked like he was in there for a check to me a little bit. And then he beat Andre. Andre's just not that good. So I mean, I'm gonna go Ikram, but I think Park could easily snag it. That's kind of a pick'em for me, even though it's not a pick'em. So. We got Nasserat versus Quillian Kid. I like Quillian. I think he's good. I think he's athletic. I think he is in the right track to be good in the UFC and has a good upside. I think this is kind of going to be a test for him. They're kind of testing to see how good he actually is here. And like I said, I think he's athletic. I like him. Let me look again here. Decision, TKO, decision, all good records, even for the people outside of the UFC for the most part. Was this this wasn't the Indian fighter here? It might be, I'm not sure. Oh, it is. Yeah, it is the Indian fighter. Who just doesn't look, I mean, I don't know. He kind of got exposed, got knocked out in the first round. Quillian looks good. Then we got Nasserat. Nasserat is a big step up in game for Quillian. So this is really they're testing him. They're seeing what he's got. And Jared Gordon's not bad. Jamie Malarkey's pretty mid. Esteban's pretty decent. Lost to King Green. Lost to Dan Hooker. Decent. Lost to Rafa Garcia. Scary. Lost to Drew Dober. Drew Dober's good. Beat Mark Dacus. I think Nasserat has very good technically on his feet, and I think somehow, some way, he's going to be able to pull out a decision, or Quillian catches him with something and proves us that he actually is that guy and is that dog. I don't know. I have a tendency to itch my head whenever I'm thinking about picks. I'm not sure why. I don't know. Just flowing, honestly. Flowing. But I'm gonna go Quillian. I think Quillian might be able to withstand the test here in Nasserat, and he's gonna show people what he's actually made of. And this will be a big stand for Quillian. Now, I mean, I do think Nasserat has a chance to do it. It's a pick'em, obviously. I'm gonna slide towards Quillian it's not even an upset, but Quillian to get it done. Hitting the main card now. We got Azamat Mirzakhanov versus Alexander Rakic. We got 5 win streak. We got, although this is pretty spread out, versus a 3 losses in a row. Although the 3 losses are to top tier UFC fighters and all UFC champions. So lost to Juan Bohovic 3 years ago. Lost to Yuri Brohov. Jesus. Lost to Yuri. Lost to Ankalaev. And after this knockout, after the injury from Juan Bohovic, got knocked out by Yuri. When he fought Ankalaev, he was just so timid. He was so scared that he just ran away the whole fight. So, I don't know. I think Rakic has fought in higher level people, but Mirzakhanov has this weird, elusive way to connect to chins and just knock people out. He beat Dustin Jacoby 2 years ago. I was actually at this fight, and Dustin Jacoby had him on the ropes the whole last round and could have easily gotten him out of there, but was so winded and gassed out that he just couldn't get him out there. And apparently, Mirzakhanov actually broke his arm in this fight and finished the fight with a broken arm and won the fight because of how dominant he was in the first 2 rounds. Then beat Alonzo Menifield. Alonzo Menifield's, I would say, he's decent. He's the low barrel of the UFC, but he's decent. And then beat Brennan pretty easy. And I actually thought that there was a chance that Brennan won, but Murakami just showed that he's better. I think Rakic could win, but I'm going to go Mirzakhanov with his power and weird way to connect with chins and just to keep the win streak going. I'm going Mirzakhanov. And then we got Jilton Almeida versus Alexander Volkov. Wrestler, BJJ, try to tap you out, wrestle you. That's what Almeida does versus Volkov, who's long and tallest guy in the UFC. Listed at 6'8". People are saying he's 6'9". 37 versus 34. Pretty much a pick 'em. I will say, when I've noticed Jolton Almeida get punched, he looks really reactive to every punch he lands. Now, Volkov has had a problem getting taken down. And he got taken down by... Who was it? He got taken down by Curtis Blades 14 times. And Curtis Blades is pretty decent at wrestling, but I wouldn't say he's better than Almeida at wrestling. Although Curtis Blades did beat him. I'm gonna go Almeida. You always got to go the wrestler, and I think if he does get Volkov down, then he's gonna win just because he got him down. And if it does stand up, then the stand up, and it stays standing up, then I got Volkov all day. I just think that Almeida should be able to get him down. If Volkov can stuff his takedowns, then I think Volkov wins the fight. I'm gonna go Almeida, but I think Volkov potentially knockout. We got Umar Nurmagomedov versus Mario Batista. Mario Batista is on a 5-fight win streak. Beat up Damon Blackshear. Beat Ricky Simon. Beat Jose Aldo. Beat Patchy Mix, who looked terrible. Then we got... And I know Umar Nurmagomedov is homeboy, you know. Khabib's camp, WrestleFuck. Cousin. His win. He fought? He's actually fought nobody. He's fought nobody in the UFC that looks that good to me. I mean, yes, Corey Sandhagen, but oh yeah, and this guy's really good as well. I'm tripping, but he only has 1 fight in the UFC, 2 fights in the UFC. So beat Brad Katana though. This guy has a good upside. So the fact that he beat him too. I mean, I'm not saying that Umar's not good. I'm just trying to compare it to Mario Batista's wins. Patchy Mix is terrible. Jose Aldo's old as hell. Ricky Simone's a journeyman. Damon Blackshear is lost to a fair share of people that are pretty mid. Davey Grant, Montel Jackson. Montel Jackson's good. I'm not saying he's not. Beat Cody Strawman. I mean, I don't know. I got Umar, and I think what he's doing is just gonna wrestle him. He's just gonna do what Marab does to everybody. He's the closest person to Marab. I think he's the only person that could possibly beat Marab. I think he has better stand up than Marab, and I think he can wrestle just as good as Marab. So I think Mario Batista loses by way of probably strangulation, just gassed out. It is 3-5, so maybe not gassed out, but if it stays standing, Mario Batista. If it goes to the ground, Umar Nagomedov. But I think Umar wins that one, just like I think Jolton Almeida wins his. So co-main, we got Verna versus McKenzie Dern. They've already fought. McKenzie Dern already won. Split decision. 37 versus 32. My problem here is, yes, they've already fought. Look at the competition of fighting. They've been both been fighting. I mean, her last three fights are recent. McKenzie Dern's been lighting it up. We'll check McKenzie Dern. McKenzie Dern's obviously an MMA black belt. That's all she does. She's really good at wrestling. Gets on your back, chokes you out, submissions. Doesn't have a single KO win. So if she wins, she has to win by submission or decision. 10-5 in the UFC. Has some. She lost to Zhao now by majority. Lost all three rounds. Beat Angela Hill. Angela Hill's a journeyman. Has 12 losses. How many UFC wins? Angela Hill is 13-15 in the UFC. Literally just someone to keep on the roster to test people. Jessica Andrade is she was a champion. She was good. You know, she's 17-13 in the UFC. Lost her last three fights. Beat Mackenzie Dern. I just I don't know. I think Mackenzie Dern is good. I think her striking is probably her worst thing about her, but she's improved. Her striking's getting better. I just remember a couple fights ago, her striking looked absolutely terrible. And when I say a couple fights ago, it probably was this Jessica Andrade fight. We'll go over to fucking Renal Jandiroba. I'm really bad with names if you haven't figured that out yet, but she beat Zhao Yown. She's she was the champion. She I mean after Wei Li, it was her, right? And she beat her. She beat Amanda Lemos. Mackenzie Dern lost to Amanda Lemos. She beat Lupi Godinez. Lupi Godinez is good. Beat Angela Hill just like Mackenzie Dern did. Lost to Mackenzie Dern back 5 years ago. And I just think that they both have progressed so much, but I think that Renal is a killer. I think she throws elbows to catch you and tries to knock you out. She does things that men do in the fights, as opposed to where Kenzie Dern is a submission artist who wins decisions occasionally. So I'm going Renal, and I think she's gonna finish her. Whether it's by submission or she bloodies her up or doctor stoppage something, I'm going Renal. I think that I'm pretty confident on it too. Main event: Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gahn. Tom Aspinall's first real defense. Doesn't fight very often. Hasn't fought very often, obviously because of the John Jones shit. The Curtis Blaze knockout. It looked like he got pieced a couple times and then absolutely caught him. And it feels like every time he catches somebody, he knocks him out. He has the lowest fight time in the UFC. And Cyril Gahn's a technical striker that wins by decision and has a couple stoppages as a heavyweight who's supposed to have the most. And I'm looking decision. Did get Sergey Spivak out of there after he punched him 75 times and didn't knock him down. And it just doesn't look like power. He gave up in the John Jones fight. Looked terrible. Did get Tai Tuivasa out of there, but he got dropped by Tai Tuivasa. And Tai Tuivasa is not even in the UFC anymore, is he? He might still be in the UFC for the simple fact of the popularity factor, but I think Cyril Gahn isn't going to want to exchange with Tom Aspinall, and if he does exchange with Tom Aspinall, I think he's going to sleep. It's just that simple. He's a minus 425 favorite. I'd say he's probably a, I don't know, minus 200 for knockout if I had to guess. So I got Tommy Aspinall, and I think it's by KO. I got Renault, and I also think that's going to be by finish, possibly KO. I got Umar and Nurmagomedov by decision. Mario Batista, it's like a 60% chance on Umar, 40% on Mario Batista, in my opinion. Plus 330 is kind of crazy. Makes me want to take Mario Batista because plus 330 is not bad. That's what makes me want to take Mario Batista. We got Jolton Almeida, slight favorite. If it goes to the ground, Almeida's got it. If it stays up, Volk's got it. Kind of a pick 'em in my opinion. I'm going Almeida to get him down. Almeida to get him down. Murkanov versus Rakic. I'm going Murkanov. I just think that he has deceptive power, and Rakic gets hit a lot, and he hasn't fought in any. He's fought in great people, but he hasn't shown anything. He's supposed to be this dog, and he's getting pieced up by everybody. I know he's getting pieced up by high level, but I think Murkanov is high level and is going to get a chance after he does beat Rakic. Then we got Killian versus Nasserat. I'm going Quillian. I just think he's going to show. He's athletic. He's quick. He's fast. Nasrat's been in there for a while. Been through a couple battles. I'm just going to go with the young gun. I feel it. I like him. I'm a fan. Could be biased. Then I'm going Park versus Ikram. I think Ikram is going to get him, but Park has a chance. And if it goes late rounds, Ikram could gas and leaving Park open for the win later in the rounds. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think Ikram wins. So we got Rombetsky versus Klein. Klein's just good, standing, technical. Rombetsky's a warhog tank that just wants to throw. He could catch him, could knock him out, but Klein's never been finished. Has he? He been knocked out? He has been knocked out one time. When was it? He got KO'd back in 2017. So never been knocked out in the UFC. And I don't know. Just how often he's fighting, how much scar tissue he has on his face. I got Klein. Never bet against a power hitter in terms of a little sprinkle on the side. I would love a sprinkle with Tom Aspinall, Mario Batista, Volkov knockout, Murzakanov knockout, Quillian by straight up, Park, maybe a sprinkle Park, just as a straight fucking, you know, but up next, after that, we got Camelo versus Al-Sawadi. I'm going the more athletic, faster, quicker, bigger upside, in my opinion, Matthias versus a guy who just got knocked out in the second or third round of his last fight. Then we got power hitting Louis Sutherland, who was supposed to fight Justin Tafa, is in shape, in training camp, versus Walter Walker, who keeps grabbing heels and getting people out of there because they don't know how to defend it. And I don't think that Louis Sutherland is probably necessarily going to know how to defend it, but he's so big and he's so strong, he has a chance to knock him out. So I think Walter Walker gets the win, but Louis Sutherland could possibly chin him at any given point because he has death touch. Got Jose Delgado versus Nathaniel Wood. Nathaniel Wood he's good. I like him. I think he's good. Very technical, all around balanced UFC fighter. Jose's just got big length. He's an up and coming, more power in his hands. I think he can get it done. I don't necessarily think he's going to finish him, but he beat Charles Jourdain, beat Morgan. This is a test for Jose. This is a big up. This is a big move up in competition. I do like Nathaniel Wood a lot, and since I haven't seen this new kid, it's just the size difference and how aggressive and how dangerous Delgado is. It just kind of worries me for Nathaniel Wood. So I'm just gonna go with Jose because of the size. Then we got Chris Barnett versus Humpty. Chris Barnett with the leg and the torn Achilles, I just can't bet on him. I can't bet on Chris Barnett knowing that he tore his Achilles in 2 fights ago, and then his last fight, you could see that he could tore his Achilles. Big old, he's a big guy, and I just think a lot of weight, throwing the weird round kicks and high kicks that he throws, having to have a lot of pressure on it. I just don't see it. I'm going Humpty. And then they're giving the wrestler from Kyrgyzstan who just chain wrestles, has good stand up versus Mitch. Mitch is just a one dimensional wrestler. He's decent, he's good standing up, but he's just not better than Azat. And I think Azat gets it done. And then we got Mizuki who just doesn't fight versus American top team, consistent, probably best BJJ in strawweight. So I think she gets her done by submission pretty easily. So that's my breakdown. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. Thanks for watching.